Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Vidya from the Singapore Environment Institute, your MC for today. Singapore Environment Institute, SEI in short, is the Training and Knowledge Division of the National Environment Agency. Thank you for attending today's professional sharing series on industry perspectives on sustainable waste management, organized by SEI in support of the tripartite collaboration between NEA, the Waste Management and Recycling Association of Singapore, WAMRAS, and the International Solid Waste Association, ISWA, of the Training, Advisory and Promotion Center. We would like to seek your cooperation in keeping this an environmentally friendly event. Please remember to drop any recyclable items in the recycling bins provided at the lift lobby and throw your litter into the bins provided. In the unlikely event of a fire, please proceed to the emergency exits located just outside the theatre at the 3rd and 4th floor of the West Wing lobby. Since 2004, SEI has been staging the Professional Sharing Series, or PSS in short. We have hosted more than 60 eminent academics, policy leaders and industry experts. Many NEA staff, industry professionals, public sectors, businesses and academics have benefited from the knowledge sharing and the best practices shared at these sessions. As the session goes by, please take some time to fill out our short online survey form. You can refer to the URL on this slide, which will direct you to the survey form. You can also access this URL via your smartphones. Today, we have invited two panelists to discuss the waste issue. Mr. David Newman, the President of ISWA, and Ms. Melissa Tan, Chairman of WAMRAS. This forum will be moderated by Mr. Ong Eng Kian, Director of SEI. May I now invite our panelists up on stage, please. In the spirit of PSS, which is promoting a dynamic exchange of environmental knowledge, I hope that you will take the opportunity to interact with our speakers during this forum. I will now hand over the time to Mr. Ong to kickstart this session. Mr. Ong, please.
Okay, a very good morning to all of you. It's quite happy to see many of you take your time to attend this professional sharing series. This time we actually changed our format of our professional sharing series. In the past, we always ask our speakers or panelists to give their presentations and followed by Q&A. But today we decided to change it. We're going to call this PSS a dialogue between two very leaders in the waste management industry. We have heard that we have Mr. David Newman, the President of the International Solid Waste Association, and we have Melissa Tan, the Chairman of the Singapore Waste Management and Recycling Association. So without further ado, let me take some time to introduce our panelists because it's important. We know their background. Just now I had some time to chit-chat with the ground and I realized that we have many practitioners and industry people amongst the audience, and they told me they want to ask many questions later on. So I shall keep my questions short, or maybe just a few questions, and leave more time for the Q&A later on. Okay, on my left we have Mr. David Newman, and he has been the President of the International Solid Waste Association since September 2012. And his extensive professional experiences include managing the Bioplastic Association, the National Compost Associations, the National Waste Associations, and formerly Greenpeace in Italy. He lives and works now from London, where he focuses more on the biochemistry, and he's also a consultant on the waste issues. In fact, David had worked in Italy for many years, also in Brussels, in Vienna, and now in London. And I think he knows the situations well in Spain, in Portugal, in Greece, in Balkans, in Scandinavia, in Netherlands, in Austria, in Hungary, in Romania, in Ukraine. So let us all give a very warm welcome to Mr. David Newman. Next we have Ms. Melissa Tan. Her CV is rather long, so bear with me. Ms. Melissa Tan is the General Manager of Y&Hua with 15 years of experience in her family-owned business. In WAMRAS, Ms. Tan assumed the positions of the first Vice Chairman in 2012 before being elected as the Chairman in 2014. She is also the chair of the subcommittee for general waste collectors and in the joint WAMRAS NEA Trade Show Waste Match Asia 2012. She serves as the co-chair with NEA in the exhibition subcommittee, and she also played a key role in helping WAMRAS secure 1.11 million funding from the LEAD program. In 2013, she became the co-chair of the subcommittee work group for standards and productivity, and she was one of the 12 appointed Work Pro ambassadors. It's a scheme by the Ministry of Manpower and Singapore Workforce Development Agencies to augment local manpower, foster progressive workplaces, and strengthen the Singapore core in our workforce. Now, many of you also know that Melissa Tan, my sister, she is a grassroots leader. She's also a woman advocate. All right. Today's topic is about industry perspective on sustainable waste management. And I think we all know that waste management is a very important issue now in Singapore, because Singapore is generating more than 7 million tons of waste a year, and we are building, I was talking to David just now, we are building the 5th plant by 2018, and in fact we are going to go further by building another even bigger, the integrated waste management facilities beyond 2018. And we all know that we just launched our Semakau landfill phase 2, I think a week before, and it can only last us until 2035. That was provided that we have reached a recycling rate of 70%, still 2035. So by that we have to think of how to recycle even the incidental bottom ashes, treating it before recycling it. And we have a very bold vision of Singapore, and that bold vision is towards zero waste. And in Singapore, you know that we have already set our plan in achieving this kind of target, and the plan includes working with industry people, so we have Melissa here. And we also think that it's important to learn from overseas, to adopt their best practices, and I think Europe is one good place to start with. That's why we have Mr. David Newman. So without further ado, let me start with some warming up questions. David, can you tell us more about the work of ISWA and your personal visions as a president, how ISWA can help the countries in the world and also especially around this region?
Well, good morning everybody, and thank you very, very much for inviting me. Thank you, Rumorous, as well for organising this with the NEA. I'm very, very pleased to be here today. I come to Singapore many, many times, and I'm always impressed about the level of the debate. It's a very high level, and about your commitment to making Singapore a world leader in many, many fields, including, of course, waste management. What is ISWA doing? Well, ISWA is really the international platform where all the waste professionals from all over the world can meet, talk, discuss their experiences, learn from each other. And Rumorous, as the national member of ISWA for Singapore, is one of our very honoured and long-established members. We meet regularly all over the world. We organise training, we organise seminars, and we try to exchange experiences everywhere, from Africa to South America to Southeast Asia to Europe, of course. Our national associations count around about 50,000, we don't quite know, members around the world. So it's really a unique platform for getting to know people from the waste industry. But more than that, ISWA campaigns, and really it's campaign over the last 3 years that I've been president, and until the end of next year when I finish, is the campaign to bring more and more funding to waste management development in poorer countries. And here we work with all the international institutions, from the United Nations to the World Bank to the European Union, the Asian Development Bank, and so on, all to try to stimulate investments into waste management, particularly in the poorer countries. Singapore, you may be concerned about your future, but Singapore has no concern in terms of waste management. But you know that your neighbours have very, very big concerns, and if you have ever been to Jakarta, you will see waste burning on the streets, you will see waste blocking the canals which the Dutch built during the colonial period, you will see waste floating down the rivers and into the sea. And these situations are where the real emergencies are today, and ISWA's campaign really over the last few years has been to try to bring attention and money to these situations.